Hi,
Okay. Hello, ma'am. So I would like to welcome Ms. Simran Yadav, who is an analyst with a master's in data analytics from Loyola University Chicago. She moved to US in 2015 at the age of 17 to pursue her bachelor's in economics and information systems. She is data driven and enjoys learning and getting involved with upcoming technologies. Her inquisitiveness and interest in data made her pursue and complete her master's by the age of 22. Hello, ma'am. It is truly an honor to have you. So, is there anything you'd like to say before we get into the questions?
um, no, I'm happy to be here, so thank you for having me.
All right. So, let's get into it. So, what is your background? What were the subjects that you took up in your schooling, graduation, and further studies?
Yeah, so I did my schooling from India, like I'm guessing everyone else here, but I come from an army background, so I finished my
Wow.
schooling from several different schools. I think it was 6 or 7 different schools. But I did my 12th grade from Army Public School, Pune in 2015. And I was always inclined more towards social sciences. So for that, I had humanities. So in that, I had subjects like economics, psychology, English, math, and one more. I think history. I'm missing
Okay.
one. But yeah, so I always knew I wanted to move to either US or UK, so for higher education. So I did not even apply to any university in India. But so based
Mhm.
on my program and the scholarship that I was offered, I chose to study in US. And the subject I chose was economics and information systems, which and I sort of wanted to have that like business background.
Mhm.
So um after that I so my main goal to study economics and information systems was to have that business processes, like how business works and how do they accomplish business objectives. So in essence, I was sort of trying to have IT
Mhm.
but with business. So along with that, since I was also interested in social science, I tried to continue that even when I was in university. So I minored in international and global studies. So it's a lot related to like foreign policies and how the relationship between different nations work.
Absolutely.
And so studying 3 different subjects was definitely a hassle, but I'm glad that I did it, since it really made me ready for my further studies. So I also majored in information systems, like with along with economics. And information systems is sort of like computer science. Like you study about computers and systems and how systems are related, but you don't do coding a lot. Like you're not on the developer side.
Okay.
So through information systems, I specifically realized that I really enjoyed seeing the world through numbers and through trends and have a specific reasoning behind those. So, towards the end of my bachelor's and interest in information systems, I knew I wanted to get into a field that is related to IT and data. So,
Right.
I decided at that time I wasn't too comfortable with analytics and sorry, definitely lacked some working knowledge and needed improvement in data science. So I decided the best way to do that and improve my skills was to go back to graduate school.
Mhm.
And I applied to the business data analytics program at Loyola University. And this is the university where I did my undergrad from as well. And the program is one of the best programs around Chicago and is ranked 33rd best in the country. So it sort of felt right to pursue that at that time.
All right, that is amazing. In fact, all the three subjects that you've studied in your graduation are very diverse and different. Like they're not at all related to each other. So that is amazing. Okay, so my second question to you is what are the job opportunities one can do after pursuing a degree in economics or like even in information systems?
Mhm. So I think there are a tons of roles you can pursue, but I think one thing that really affects this is your interest. Like, I really enjoyed studying
Absolutely.
information systems, but I wanted to dive a little bit more into IT. And since I always had the inclination towards statistics, I wanted to get a master's in data field because before I started working. So it really depends on how much you want to dive deeper into a specific area and how much expertise you already have. So, say if someone knows more about economics or information systems more after their bachelor's more than I know, you don't have to like go get a master's, or you can just go get a job directly. So it really depends on your interest and how much expertise you have. But if you want to pursue economics, then people can go on different paths. So either becoming like different analyst, it could be research, market research analyst, credit analyst, or financial analyst, and economic consultants. Like, that is a really upcoming or booming area, especially in US.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of demand for economic consultant right now. Teaching or government jobs are always there. Like, economics is a huge field in that, and especially in India, like government jobs are need you to have some economic knowledge at least to pursue those jobs. So
Absolutely.
I think, yeah, it really depends on your interest and
Mm-hmm.
the industry that you want to get into. So, and for information systems too, like people after bachelor's, people can go on a path to becoming a system analyst or functional analyst or a business system analyst. And data, if you're into databases, you can also go become a database administrator or DBA. So it I honestly depends on how much expertise and grip in the area you have. Like, you don't really need to uh, further pursue your education if you think you know enough after your bachelor's. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So my third question to you is, what did you enjoy the most when you were pursuing your degree in Chicago?
Hmm. Um, I mean, just in transparency, it was difficult. Like,
Okay.
as fun and happy it looks from a distance, I think if you look closer, then living like thousands of miles away from your family, moving to a different city, like entirely different country that you have never been before at 17 was difficult. Like, I remember, like, when I was moving, I was really excited once I got here. I was like, oh no, I need to go back home. But I still remember, like, there were so many times that I realized like how much better off I am than people my age. Like, so I guess, like how they say it, it's your experiences and struggles that really make you the person you are. So yes, it was difficult, but I think overall I like the experience and I wouldn't do it otherwise. And it really made me stronger and braver and much more independent than people my age, honestly. Like, when I talk to my friends or people who are a year or two younger or older than me, I think I'm more independent and I'm more bold at making the decisions that I make in terms of my like career and personal life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. So my fourth question to you is, how do you think STEM will progress in the coming years?
Hmm. Um, I think the situation that we are in right now, there is only going to be increased use cases of STEM
Mm-hmm.
and rapid adoption of AI, artificial intelligence, and increased importance of data in all areas. So, be it finance, banking, stocks, medicine, healthcare, there's only going to be more use cases and more usage of data. And I think in the recent coming years, there will be literally no conversation around technology today or even in the future that would be completed without referring to either business or artificial intelligence. So I think there is an exponential research in STEM and all the way more adoption of AI from mining to healthcare, education, and finance. So artificial intelligence will further change the way we live, and both at work and home. So not only that, I think AI and automation will most definitely change the way industries currently are working. So we might see a switch in the kind of jobs we are doing or applying to in the near future.
Absolutely agreed. Okay, so my next question to you is how, so we are lucky enough to have someone like you that we can talk to you, we can understand from you what exactly is information systems at the graduate level, what exactly do you study in economics or even international relations for that matter. How did you decide that studying economics along with information systems was the right choice for you? Like when you were in the 12th grade, you were fixated upon the fact that you wanted to say go to either the US or the UK as you mentioned.
Mhm.
But how did you decide these were the two majors you wanted to study?
Yeah, so initially I did not. I started off with psychology major, but in US, like I wanted to get into medicine, but in US, like the process of becoming medical or a psychiatrist is very long. It's about 10 years. So
Right,
I did not really wanted to commit that much time.
of
So
course.
my other option, and like that's what my plan was, like either it's psychology or economics. So I sort of knew that I can do something in economics and be successful at it because overall I really liked the subject and also like looking at things in a business way, like how they work, why they work, is the economy working, or about finances. So it sort of felt right. So I like since I knew I wanted to do something in business, so economics seemed like a good way of getting my feet wet in the business area. I had it as a subject in high school, so I was familiar with some of the concepts and I knew how the overall subject worked. And the courses that I took during my bachelor's were a mix of both finance and economics. So it was definitely interesting. So it was like studying theory in economics and seeing the implications and effects of those theories in finance. So, and for information systems, it was I didn't decide to do that. Sorry about that. So to
No
pursue that
problem.
subject
Hmm.
specifically, but like I had to take a class for my business school in undergrad and I really liked it. And I think it was a good integration of tech and some technical skills, but also having enough theory to make sense of all the technicalities. So I think those were the reasons why I chose the two subjects. So having interest in business and like sort of trying having that inclination towards technology but not entirely like not in developer side. So those were the reason why I chose these two subjects.
Makes sense, makes sense. Okay. So my next question to you is how did you decide after doing your graduation that you wanted to pursue a master's in data analytics?
So like I mentioned before, by the end of my bachelor's, I knew I wanted to get into data and information systems field. But at that time, I wasn't completely comfortable with analytics, and I think I definitely lacked some working knowledge, like knowledge in the sense of having a job in that area. And I needed improvement in data science overall. So I decided the best way to do that would be to go back to school and pursue my master's. So the program that I chose basically prepared me to working with statistics in Excel and how data can be employed or used in different areas like marketing, finance, supply chain. So this also really gave me all the domain knowledge. So like to make sense of all the number crunching that I'll be doing eventually. So I think if you, yeah, this is like one tip I would like to give everyone. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you want to get into data, field or data analysis, like try to understand the theory too. So say if you are in marketing, try to have that knowledge of marketing concepts so that once you have the data results you can make sense out of those. But and it would really help you a lot in going and explaining what you found rather than just handing over to your results to a boss or some other people who might wanted the results. So if you can explain them, it would really help you overall in your career. So, and along with that, one thing that I really appreciate about my program and why I chose it
Mm-hmm.
was my curriculum's overall emphasize on hands-on experience to different machine learning approaches, and those definitely made me ready to excel in a career as a data analyst or a data scientist. And I think I chose this program also because, like I mentioned, hands-on experience was, it wasn't a long program, like it was just 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
But since the time I started, I've done 4 different projects and I've interned with 3 different companies. So it really gave me like a really good experience and hands-on experience. So yeah, I think it really made me ready for a career to start as an analyst, and soon I'll be starting working as a business systems analyst. And the company that I'll be working for is making a move towards artificial intelligence and automation in healthcare and insurance industry. So my role would be a stepping stone towards that move. So they already, so like I haven't started working, I'll start next week.
Mm-hmm.
But so far what I've understood is they already have software, but the reason they are bringing me in is to automate that process and have that artificial intelligence or automation or point and click method in their software so that they can fasten the whole software integration process.
Absolutely. Okay. So, this will be my last question to you. So, after that, we'll throw it out to the audience. You guys can type in your questions or you can raise your hand and I'll recognize you after ma'am has answered this last question. So, my last question to you is any final piece of advice you would like to give to us budding girls and boys in STEM?
Um, yeah, so I think we definitely need diversity in STEM and tech. I
Absolutely.
think like through my bachelor's and master's, I sort of realized that we don't have that much diversity in terms of like gender and also race, if I may say that. Like even US,
Absolutely.
I see more Asians than American or any other um, people from any other place pursue
Mhm.
STEM. So I think diversity is one of those. And as we move more towards artificial intelligence and machine learning, I think it is more important to have women included in all stages of the process. So, from sparking of groundbreaking ideas to actually executing them and drawing business value. So, we need, like, right now, they're girls in business and tech, but they are more on the marketing or client facing side rather than developer side. So I think we sort of need that balance too, like diversity in that sense. So I would advise everyone to be innovative problem solver and have a genuine deep driven curiosity. Like the data industry, it's so new right now. Like if you know, even if you have education of 1 or 2 years and you know what you're doing, you'll be fine. Like you will be able to have a successful career. So you do not really have to follow a set path as well. So I know I didn't, like I moved from social sciences like having humanities in high school to tech, where I'm now involved with um, starting work at a company where they need
Right.
me, literally hired me to, so that they can make the move towards automation and AI. So, yeah, final thoughts here. I think the very first step to solve any problem is to truly put our minds behind it and coming up with data driven answers. And once we understand the problem, arriving at a solution won't be too difficult. But yeah, I think all of us sort of have to be bold with our choices and have, more importantly, confidence and faith in whatever we do. Like, we don't have to, you like, if you have the interest, I don't think there is lack of resources to pursue those interests. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Wonderfully said. Okay, so now I'll be requesting you to answer the questions that the audience members have posed.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first question is, how much time does it generally take you to complete one project? So like you,
Um,
yeah.
mhm. So the most projects that I've been involved with is when I was doing my master's, especially projects related to data science. So
Mhm.
those were about um 7 to 8 weeks, but not, those weren't like actual full-fledged projects like professionals do. But one of the projects that I recently did at my internship, it was a 4 month long project, and we were involved in whole process of data analysis, and we had to give results to the company's CEO. So that
Okay.
was 4 months, but it also really depends on what kind of work you're involved with. Like some projects and bigger companies or banks or like actual real world projects, those can go up to like years, like 2.5 year. Like that's the like average project size, like length.
Absolutely. Okay. So the next question is, was it easier for you to pursue your masters in the same university you did your undergraduation from?
Um, I would say it wasn't easier or difficult. Like, yeah, like the whole applying to the same university process was easy. Like I didn't have all my grades, all the records just got transferred from one school within the university to another school within the university. So I didn't have to apply anything. I just had to fill a form, and
Mm-hmm.
then all of my records were transferred. So I guess that was easy. But it also depends. Like if you're thinking of doing that, I would say to see like what university you are getting into. Like university, I would see the overall reputation of the university and the program that you want to get into.
Okay, okay, makes sense.
Mhm.
Someone has asked, what do you enjoy the most about your job?
What do I enjoy most about my job? I think like I was so far working as a data analyst,
Mm-hmm.
and right now I am like in a week I'll be making the transition from that to being a business systems analyst.
Right.
So, but I think I like the fact that I can look at the technicalities, but since I have like more of a humanities or theory background, I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to understand everything a lot more than my colleagues. So that's what I like the most. Like I'm able to understand and not just to number crunching. Like most of the people who I work with are from computer science background. So what they'll do is just do data analysis, do coding, and hand on the results. But they don't really understand like how they make sense to the business. So I
Right.
like the fact that I'm able to make that difference and like understand it.
Absolutely. Okay, someone has asked, what is the difference between being a data scientist and being a data analyst? Okay, I think ma'am's internet. is lagging. Hello?
Yeah, 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 I
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you now.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, so you were asking like the difference between data analyst and data
Data
scientist?
scientist. Yes, that is what I asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so data analyst is more of a, I would say it's more of a non-technical role in the sense that you don't have to do a lot of coding. All you're doing is once you have a data set, you're analyzing it, you're looking at it and making sense of it. But data
Okay.
scientists, they deep more into the field, so they're also involved in machine learning. Machine learning is sort of a subset or a sub area of computer science, so you are definitely doing a lot more coding, and you're also doing a lot more analysis related to numbers. So machine learning is a lot more statistics heavy. So data scientists and data analysts, the major difference between the two is the technicality involved in the work.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So the next question someone has asked is what is the undergraduation degree that someone can pursue in India and even abroad, particularly to do data analysis ahead?
Hmm. Um, like if you're doing it abroad, especially in US, you don't need to do a degree or undergraduate degree in a specific subject. Like I had people in my masters who did studied English and then they were studying data science or data analytics in masters. So in US it really doesn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
But in India, I would say pursue a degree, or at least during your undergrad do at least one course that is a bit IT related, so that you're not it's completely not out of your um, comfort zone. So you can either pursue like business related degrees, economics, I don't know, marketing, finance, or if you want to get into sciences,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like data science is not really related to like mathematics, or I mean coding is math based, but it doesn't really needs you to understand all the concepts of math. So you specifically don't have to do science degree, or like you don't have to pursue PCM or PCB in 11th 12th to become a data analyst.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess the main importance here is to sort of be comfortable with computers and IT, so that it's not completely out of the blue for you when you start working or start your pursuing your data analyst degree.
Absolutely. Okay, the next question someone has asked is it necessary to do economics to do well in data analysis?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like I said, like there are people who did even English, and they probably might be a better data analyst than me. So you don't really have to, but
Mhm.
if you understand the subject, it helps. Like especially if you want to get into finance, like if you want to become a market research analyst, or you want to become a functional or a financial analyst, having that would help. Like it would give you the domain knowledge, like the theory knowledge, so that the analysis that you do will make more sense than, say, if you have a bio background and you're working in finance industry, you'll have a difficult time understanding what your data analysis means and how- and understand its implication in the industry.
Absolutely. Okay, someone has asked a very specific question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, someone has asked, one second. What is logic regression?
Oh, okay. That is a field, that is an area, logistic regression, and that is a concept in machine learning. Like, there are different concepts of how you can do machine learning, or how you can find answers or results,
Mm-hmm.
data, work with data and find results. So it is one of the concepts of machine learning. Like, it's a lot more detailed than I'm explaining, but I think, yeah, if that makes sense, and you definitely can look up into it a lot more, but it's a like a concept within machine learning area.
Oh wow, that is new to all of us because most of us, I mean, even if we are studying anything even close to, which I don't even think it's as close, is say computer science, and that's so in like the 11th, 12th grade, which is like
Hmm.
Python, nothing more than that. So, okay, that was a very specific question.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do like all these machine learning concepts. Like, most data analysts or data scientists used R or Python. So
Mm-hmm.
if anybody is interested, you can definitely, I would suggest, if you're just interested and want to see like how these concepts or work, go on YouTube or some other like Udemy, and there are really short courses, like half an hour long courses, which will help you like how to develop machine learning algorithms. So if you're interested, like that should be interesting to get involved in.
Absolutely. Okay, someone has asked, what is the difference between, again, very specific difference between data mining and data profiling?
Um, data mining is literally just like digging deeper into data. Like, you have a specific amount of data set and you're just digging deeper into it. Like, you're trying different ways just to work with that specific data set. Like, you're not just trying one method of finding results, you're trying 10 different or three or four different, like you're trying at least more than three to five more ways to like do data analysis on that. And data profiling is bringing in data, cleansing it, like making it more cleaner, and then doing the data analysis on it.
Absolutely, all right. Someone has asked, is there anything we can do right now, like some specific course that will help us out?
Yeah, there are a lot of courses. So Um, Coursera is a good option, and
Mhm.
if anyone is interested in machine learning, they have an introduction to machine learning course. I think that's what it's called, but I can send you over the link. And IBM Big Data University is a really good source. Like, they have different learning paths, so from introductory to mid-level to high-level courses, and they have it in many different languages. Like, they have it in Python, R, I think they have Hadoop too, and they
Mhm.
also have courses in big data. So if you want to just get started, I think these two are really good sources.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. Okay, someone has asked, what is your view on IoT?
IoT is Internet of Things, so it's a really new
Right.
concept. It's another really growing concept along with artificial intelligence and blockchain. So
Mm-hmm.
IoT is sort of having networks so that you have internet connectivity everywhere, but it's so internet and so tech based, like literally everything. Like, even if you set foot into your house, the sensors will detect your movement and it react according to that. So Internet of Things, it's a really growing field, and I think especially in US, I'm forgetting the state or the city, but they have started putting in IoT devices everywhere within the city. So that
Oh,
city, like wherever you go, you have internet, and those internet sensors will be able to detect you and your actions. I don't know
absolutely.
like how good that is, but it's definitely a way they move forward in technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Someone has asked, have you ever faced any issues or discrimination on the basis of your gender?
Um, I wouldn't say like discrimination, upfront discrimination, but
Mm-hmm.
it definitely like you can feel it. Say like in my masters there were 30 people, and out of 30, only four were girls. So you can
Oh.
feel that difference between like, okay, there are not enough girls. Like, why is that? So there wasn't a like discrimination or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like once, like I would say like if you're in a field and till the time you understand what you're doing and how you're doing, you'll be fine. Like if you have confidence, like being in a classroom or with 30 people and just four girls, it might get intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So key is to like have that confidence. But yeah, I didn't really like have an upfront discrimination, but you can feel it. Like you're the minority, you definitely had that sense.
Absolutely. Okay, fine. So, okay, this is, I think, our last question because I haven't gotten any more questions.
Okay.
Again, very, very specific. I myself don't know what you're talking about. What exactly are your views on a clustering algorithm?
Okay, that is, yeah, that is again machine learning concept. But I mean, I don't really have any views on it. It really depends on the data set I'm working on. If I have a data set that needs me to have clusters or like group the findings that I'm having, or like I want to take out of it. Like if I want groups of if I want to identify like groups within the data, I would do clustering analysis. But like I don't really have any views on it. It really depends on the data set, and if I have to do it, I would do it.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, someone has just asked another question. How is the personal security maintained with this high level of artificial intelligence?
Hmm. Um, I know like this is a concern like that everyone has right now,
Mm-hmm.
like artificial intelligence, like will be no privacy, especially like with IoT, artificial intelligence, like people are concerned that a artificial intelligence will take over their jobs, and like these upcoming technologies will invade your privacy. But I
Right.
think it's way too early to say anything. Like
Okay.
especially in US, the artificial intelligence that is growing, or there, firstly it is very initial. Like we are way too far from artificial intelligence to make decisions for us. So it's not, it's like 15, 20 years when we can even think about that. But artificial intelligence that is being developed right now is more focused on helping us do our job better rather than take our jobs away. So same goes to privacy. Like I mean, yeah, you have to be a little bit more cautious, and you have to take care of like how much you are involved in personally.
Right.
But it wouldn't, I don't see a huge difference or artificial intelligence really invading your privacy. So yeah, IoT, it might, because like you're getting connected and you have connectivity everywhere. So that might affect a little bit. But like artificial intelligence, I think right now we are moving more towards utilizing it for our benefit rather than it taking over or invading our privacy.
Absolutely. All right, ma'am. So that concludes this session. Thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure hosting you. Thank you so much
Mhm.
for accepting our invite.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you